Yo, what's up, Masters and Rookies? Here I am, MTG Rookie, with another unboxing from the new Commander Legends series. So we have the Reap the Tides box this time round, and it's a Commander deck. So let's have a quick look at the back. Gather the storm, choose your commander, and overcome both friend and foe in this definitive multiplayer Magic format. Summon the strength of AC. Call forth a torrent of extra cards and lands and sweep your opponents away. AC Tyrant of Gaia Strait. AC is a massive sea serpent capable of demolishing entire fleets, ocean dwellers, and seafaring travelers alike. Respect that kind of power, and they make sure to give AC a wide berth. 100 card deck with 3 new cards. Woo! Deck box, 10 double-sided tokens, life wheel, and a strategy insert. So again, not a tearer. I'm a lover, but unfortunately, if I don't tear the front, I end up denting the cards. So let's just tear that in order to get that open, like so. And we'll pull this out, get rid of the trash, and lift that off. So there's AC Tyrant of the Gaia Strait. We'll have a look at her later. I assume it's a female. And then we've got our token cards. We'll have a look at them first because I forgot to do them last time. Get rid of that. And then we have all the odds and sods. So, deck box. There's AC. Male or female? What do you think, guys? Do you know? Have you read any of the lore? Has AC ever been in it? And this is the Reap the Tides Commander Legends box. So, we got the spin down counter. And we go. Yeah, I hear that sound a lot. Play a lot of MTG Arena online. So, let's have a look at the tokens first this time. Who are MTG Rookie proof. Alright, so we have a Saprolin token 1/1, 2, 3, 4 Saprolins, 1/1s, and on the back of those we've got 2 illusions and 2 copies. This token can be used to represent a token that's a copy of a permanent. Okay, so that must be useful later. So let's put them up there. Then we got plant. So they're 0/1 plants, and they have illusions on the back also. Then we got 3/3 beast, 3/3 elephant. Beautiful creature that is. And then on the back we've got 4/4 beasts. Cool. Alright, so the tokens are done this time. They are gone. Then obviously inside the box you have your Learn to Play Commander, and it tells you how you play Commander. And on the back has a little bit of information. So, AC is deadly, that much is easy to see. It's colossal, with a gaping maw and unparalleled strength. Driven by territorial instinct, the Tyrant of Gaia Strait is completely unfamiliar with mercy. Experienced seafarers know that their only viable defense is to figure out where AC is and be somewhere else. Okay, pretty cool. So let's put that to one side, and let's see if we can do this in the first run of things this time. Oh. No way. Look at that. He's only gone and done it. Beautiful. Right, so let's see if we can get our mana pool out first. Mana pool. Oh, there's some artifacts. Land, there we go. Right. Land. Okay. Cyril. Blighted Woodland. Add 1 standard. Pay 3, 1 green. Sacrifice Blighted Woodland. Search a library for up to 2 basic lands. Put them onto the battlefield. Tap, then shuffle your library. Command Tower. Add 1 mana of any colour in your commander's identity. Coral Atoll enters the battlefield tapped. When Coral Atoll enters the battlefield, Sacrifice it unless you return it untapped to the island. Sorry, I paused there. I got sort of caught by the little shipwreck in the back. Evolving Wilds, we all know what that one does. Jungle Basin. Jungle Basin enters battlefield tapped. When Jungle Basin enters battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return an untapped forest you control to its owner's hand. Memorial to Genius enters the battlefield tapped. Then we've got Reliquary Tower. You have no maximum hand size. Beautiful. Love that one. Simic Growth Chamber enters the battlefield tapped. When Simic Growth Chamber enters the battlefield, return land you control to its owner's hand. Simic Guildgate enters the battlefield tapped. Add 1 green, 1 blue. Terramorphic Expanse. Search a library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. Formward Falls enters the battlefield tapped. When Formward Falls enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Vivid Creek enters the battlefield tapped. You, with 2 charge counters on it, add 1. Remove a charge counter from Vivid Creek. Add 1 mana of any colour. Vivid Grove. Wow, look at that colour coming through. That's quite cool. Respecting the art. Vivid Grove enters battlefield tapped with 2 charge counters on it. Add 1 green or remove a charge counter from Vivid Grove. Add 1 mana of any colour. Woodland Stream enters battlefield tapped. Add 1 green, 1 blue. Then we got some forests. Recount those. $15 forest. And 1, 2, 3, 15 islands. Cool. So let's get those out of the way. And let's have a look through the main deck. So we've got Trench Behemoth, Creature Kraken. Return land you control to its owner's hand. Untap Trench Behemoth. It gains hexproof until the end of turn. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target creature an opponent controls attacks during its controller's next combat phase if able. Cool. Stump Skull Hydra. When Stump Skull Hydra enters, this is a rare as well, enters the battlefield, distribute X +1/+1 counters among it and any number of commanders. Elder Deep Fiend, Flash, Emerge 5 and 2 blue. You may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's converted mana cost. Maloku, the Clouded Mirror. Fly and return a land you control to its owner's hand. Create a 1/1 blue illusion creature token with flying. Nezahal, Primal Tide. Wow, look at that. Looks beastly. The spell can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. Oh, draw 3 cards. Exile Nezahal, Primal Tide. Return it to battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So I wonder why that is. That must be to get some kind of process going. Scourge of the Fleets. When Scourge of the Fleets enters the battlefield, return each creature your opponent controls with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. Shipbreaker Kraken. 6 and 2 blue, Monstrosity 4. If this creature isn't monstrous, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it and it becomes monstrous. Yeah, he's telling me 6/6. That becomes a 10/10. When Shipbreaker Kraken becomes monstrous, tap up to 4 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during the next controller's untap steps for as long as you control Shipbreaker Kraken. Sphinx of Atun. Flying. When Sphinx of Atun enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile in your hand and the other in your graveyard. Stormtide Leviathan. Island Walk. This creature can't be blocked as long as a defending player controls an island. All lands are islands in addition to their other types. Tremokratus. Tremokratus is hexproof unless it's attacking or blocking. Drumocratus can't be blocked unless all creatures defending player controls block it. Whelming Wave, sorcery, return all creatures to their owner's hands except for krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents. Avenger's Zendikar. When Avenger's Zendikar enters the mythic battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each land you control. Molimo Marrow Sorcerer. Trample. Molimo Marrow Sorcerer's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Rampaging Balos. Trample. Landfall. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Raminap Excavator. You may play lands from your graveyard. Terrastodon. When Terrastodon enters a battlefield, you may destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents for each permanent you put in a graveyard. This way, a controller creates a 3/3 green elephant creature token. So that kind of looks like a Triceratops, but an elephant. That's pretty cool. Verdant Sun's Avatar. When Verdant Sun's Avatar or another creature enters a battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Fathom Mage. Evolve. Whenever a creature enters a battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is put on Fathom Mage, you may draw a card. That's a nice card. Other green creatures you control get +1. Other blue creatures you control get +1/+1. So if you had a green and blue, I'd imagine you had 2 +1/+1 counters. Simic Sky Swallower. Flying, trample, shroud. This creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. Nice card. Creature, a token that's a copy of the target creature. Split an image. Retrace. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs. Seer's Sundial. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Arcane Denial. Counter target spell. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Target player draws 3 cards, then that player discards 2 cards unless they discard a land card. Counterspell. Fact or Fiction. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile in your hand and the other into the graveyard. Into the Royal. Kicker. 1 and a blue. You may pay additional 1 and a blue as you cast a spell. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If a spell is kicked, draw a card. IR Ruin Expedition. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a quest counter on your Ruin Expedition. Remove 3 quest counters from your Ruin Expedition and sacrifice it. Draw 2 cards. Mole Drifter. Oh, that's a little cute fishy. Look at it. Look at that little fishy. When Mole Drifter enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Evoke. You may cast a spell for its evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. Peel from Reality. Return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. Slin Voda, the Deep Rising. Like a bit of a crocodile-y type, dinosaur type thing. That's a Leviathan. There we go. Kicker 1 and blue. You may pay an additional 1 and blue as you cast a spell. When Slim Voda, the Rising Deep, enters the battlefield, if it is kicked, return all creatures to their owner's hand. Except for merfolk, krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents. In the larder. Sorry, my missus was asking me a question then. Acidic Slime, creature ooze, death touch. When acidic slime enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. Beast Within, destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 beast creature token. Cultivate, search your library for up to 2 basic lands, reveal those cards and put onto the battlefield, tapped, and the other into your hand, then shuffle your library. Eternal Witness, when Eternal Witness enters the battlefield, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Explore, you may play an additional land this turn, draw a card. Harmonize, draw 3 cards. Colony Heart Expedition. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a quest counter on Colony Heart Expedition. Remove 3 quest counters from Colony Heart Expedition and sacrifice it. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them in the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. Excuse me. Kodama's Reach. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards and put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other one into your hand, then shuffle your library. Rampant Growth. Search your library for basic land card and put that card onto the battlefield tapped. Reclamation Sage. It looks more cartoony than real. When Reclamation Sage enters a battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Retreat to Kazandu. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or you gain 2 life. Search for Tomorrow. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Suspend 2. Pay a green. Rather than cast this card from your hand, you may pay 1 green and exile it with 2 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter. When the last is removed, cast it without paying its mana cost. Spore Mound. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Wickerbow Elder. Wickerbow Elder enters the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it. Remove a -1/-1 counter from Wickerbow Elder. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yavimaya Elder. When Yavimaya Elder dies, you may search your library for up to 2 basic lands, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Coiling Oracle. It's like a little dude on the end of a snake. When Coiling Oracle enters the battlefield, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. Growth Spiral. Draw a card. You may put the land from your hand onto the battlefield. Shark to Crab. Shark to Crab. Creature, shark, octopus, crab. Cool. Pay 2, green and blue. Adapt 1. If this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on shark to crab, tap target creature or an opponent controls, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Simic Charm. Choose 1. Target creature gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Permanents you control gain X% until the end of turn. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Urban Evolution. Draw 3 cards. You may play an additional land this turn. Meteor Golem. When Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy a target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Simic Signet. Pay 1, tap, add a green or a blue. For Simic Combine, it's George serves as Soul Ring. Add 2 grey. So cheap to put out as well. Swiftfoot Boots. Equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Equip 1. So, let me know what you think of the deck. There's some good ones in there. The only one we haven't really looked at is the actual commander for the deck. AC Tyrant of Guy Strait. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Nice card draw system. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Which one's your favourite deck? Do you like the Arms one, or do you like the Reap the Tides deck? Let me know what you think. Which cards you think are useful, which aren't useful. Would you likely to play these? Would you likely tweak them? Take some of the cards out, put them in your own commander decks? Let me know what you think. Until next time, Masters and Rookies, MTG Rookie out.